SmackDown took place tonight in Lexington, Kentucky, and this show started off with John Cena coming out to the ring, and he cuts a long promo about why he's the GOAT, the greatest of all time. He says he's the only guy who'd be on Mount Rushmore 4 times. Cody Rhodes interrupts him. Cody mentions how he beat him at Money in the Bank last Saturday. And then Randy Orton makes a surprise return. He says he wants number 15. And then LA Knight interrupts next. He cuts a good promo. He's very over. And then you had Ron Killings jump John Cena as he was heading to the back. The announcers were calling him R-Truth, but he was known as Ron Killings on Raw, so I'm not sure. Also on to mention, today is Friday the 13th. Speaking of numbers, Randy Orton wants to win his 15th title, but today is Friday the 13th. Trivia, 45 years ago, the original Friday the 13th was released. And you had up next, backstage, John Cena's yelling at Nick Aldis over Truth jumping him. We get the first quarterfinal Fatal 4-Way match, Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Aleister Black. If my voice sounds a bit low, I'm just telling you, this show wasn't much. I mean, they put a whole bunch of Fatal 4-Way matches together. It was a throwaway show because they have very tough competition. They're going up against the NBA Finals tonight. It felt like they just took their foot off the gas. They had a great Raw show. NXT wasn't very good, and SmackDown tonight I thought was just not very good either. Anyway, Braun and Bronson distracted and attacked LA Knight. This is revenge for him taking out Braun Breaker on Raw. They get the revenge here, and Randy Orton hits an RKO onto Carmelo Hayes, who lands on LA Knight, and Orton ends up pinning LA Knight. So Randy advances, as we all thought he probably would. And then you had Jacob Fatu backstage cutting a promo. He's out next. He cuts a promo about why he turned on Solo Sikoa. Then we see JC Mateo and Solo Sikoa sitting down on a round table on the video screen. And Solo wants, he's telling Jacob that he's the one who brought him in here and he's the one who brought him out. And he wants Solo to tell him that, I love you, Solo. One thing I noticed at Money in the Banks, when Jacob turned on Solo, he never said, I love you, Solo. He said, I hate you, but I think we're hoping he would say, I hate you, Solo. He just said, I hate you. But I think we'll hear I hate you, Solo sometime on SmackDown. And then he's starting to take him out of the world that he brought him into. So they'll obviously continue to feud, as it was pretty obvious that was the direction. Secret Harvest, that's Alba Fire and Piper Niven were talking to Nick Aldis backstage, and it was revealed that Chelsea Green, who was scheduled for one of the Fatal 4-Way matches tonight, the one with Alexa and Charlotte, that she couldn't make it because she had flight troubles and she was taking a selfie, and she wasn't taking a selfie, I'm sorry. She had a video of herself showing her face, and she was drinking alcohol, and it was strange because I was thinking, they advertised her that she really couldn't make it. I don't know what happened here, but Alba Fire just takes her spot. That's what Nick Aldis says. Then Zelina Vega comes in there, and she's talking to Nick Aldis, and she's really upset because she wants to face Julia. Aldis says she's not here this week. Next week, Zelina says she'll be face-to-face with her, and maybe that's an Evolution match. That would make sense. We got the Women's Queen of the Ring qualifier. We have Jade Cargill against Piper Niven against Nia Jax against Mia Yim. I'm just thinking, wow, they're begging people to just turn this off or change the channel and tune into the NBA Finals because, wow, that's what you're putting out there. Jade's like the only name there. Like, really, she's the only one who is, like, anything here. And they have Nia and Piper throwing Jade over the announce desk, which is a cool spot. Piper drove Nia Jax through the barricade, and then Jade hit the Jaded on Piper Niven, picked her up, and got the win. Naomi headed to the ring with the briefcase, and then when she's out, she cuts a promo on Tiffany Stratton, who always blocked her from cashing in on Nia Jax, or from beating Nia Jax because she had the briefcase, and then Tiffy later interrupts her. Tiffy challenges her to just cash in on her right now. I just thought this was a mad promo by Naomi. Mediocre. No natural charisma she has. Nia goes after Tiffany after. I'm thinking, again, this feud will never fucking end. Like, why won't this feud end? This was a feud that I'll never see this feud ever end. She hit the Annihilator. Naomi goes to cash in, but Nia stops her. Nick Aldis talks to the tag team division. It's all the tag teams, Motor City Machine Guns, DIY. Who are the other two? I'm forgetting. Street Profits are the champions, and Fraxium. And it's decided that the Motor City Machine Guns will face the Wyatt Six tonight. And then we get Motor City Machine Guns who come out right after that, and they face the Wyatt Six. Wyatt Six wins. It was a very decisive win. I'm not sure what they're going to get the Machine Guns, but Wyatt Six just won a decisive matchup here. Backstage, John Cena runs into Jimmy Uso, who's doing nothing. Maybe he can reunite with his brother soon since he lost his title, but he tells Truth to meet him in the ring. He knows Jimmy talks to Truth, so he wants him to tell Truth to meet him in the ring. I just thought this was almost like a waste of a John Cena appearance. They promoted the 6 Feet Under podcast with The Undertaker. His guest host is Michelle McCool, and I want to mention this, and I think the reason they featured this is Undertaker actually announced he underwent heart surgery after WrestleMania this year. Best wishes to The Undertaker, to Mark Calloway, all best. Wouldn't be a fan of wrestling without a guy like him. Huge fan, so glad he's okay. Next, I thought we went to probably the most eventful thing of the night, and for some odd reason. I was not expecting this. No one thought this guy was even going to be on the show tonight. But not only was John Cena back out, he called out R-Truth. And I was thinking, rarely do you ever have two separate promos on a single show, but he's calling out Truth, and also wants to point out he's wearing a Kentucky Wildcats colors, the blue and white, because it's Kentucky. It's Lexington. And I was thinking, he makes fun of basketball and horse racing because it's the Kentucky Derby in Kentucky, and he's wearing that colors, so I just thought that was kind of odd. But CM Punk interrupts him instead of R-Truth, and it was definitely a surprise. He was not advertised, I don't believe. He essentially tells Cena to turn babyface at first. Fans were starting to chant for R-Truth because Punk kept pausing, and it just seemed like it was thrown together, and he wasn't really supposed to be on the show, and they just asked him to be on the show to get a good segment or pop a good rating or something. But Punk says Cena can't beat him and never could. This was just a weird promo. He says he sounds like, Punk himself sounds like PG John Cena, while Cena sounds like him, trying to walk out with the belt. I just thought it was weird. He mentions all these great wrestlers that passed. It just goes on forever, and he eventually ends it. I didn't like it. They had Truth attack Cena after the match. He puts him in the STF. The refs had to take him off him. Byron Saxton interviews Alexa Bliss backstage about the Queen of the Ring, and she talks about how she couldn't win Women's Money in the Bank, but she talks about the time that she did. Then Charlotte, when she mentions Queen of the Ring, Charlotte interrupts her and says she's the only queen. So she does the woo. Clearly, we're going to get a feud with them, or a match maybe, because they've been setting it up for a while. Charlotte flares out, and then Alexa Bliss interrupts her entrance and walks right past her. R-Truth is backstage. They go back there, and Nick Aldis confronts him. He says he tells Aldis he wants a match with Cena next week, and it's set up. Next, we get to the women's quarterfinal Fatal 4 match. You have Alexa Bliss against Charlotte Flair, against Candice LeRae, against Alba Fire. So there's a Tower of Doom spot early. Alexa definitely was the most over of all the wrestlers here. She got the best fan support, but Charlotte got some cheers too. People usually hate Charlotte, but they kind of like her here. Charlotte had Alba Fire in the figure 8, but Alexa hit the sister Abigail at the same time on Candice LeRae and pinned her, and then right after the ref hits 3, Alba Fire taps out right after. And then they have a stare down with Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. They look at each other, and they're clearly setting up a feud and match. And it could be a long-term feud, I don't know, but they really should have a match Evolution. That'd be a good match for Evolution. Solid matchup, 2 stars. They've had a history. I don't think they've worked together as much as others who came in that same NXT era. They're both in that first class of NXT, but hopefully a match Evolution between the two. I'd like that. I think Charlotte probably costs Alexa the match next week. They have Cody Rhodes backstage heading to the ring. He sees Punk backstage. They wish each other luck. I thought CM Punk thought luck was for losers. Anyway, they preview next week's show, which includes Cena versus Truth and Alexa Bliss facing the winner of the Fatal 4-Way on Raw and a couple other matches. And then we get the main event, men's Fatal 4-Way, King of the Ring, quarterfinals, Fatal 4-Way match, Cody Rhodes, Shinsuke Nakamura, Andrade, Damian Priest. The fans definitely got their wish. I think the Money in the Bank fans who kept chanting for tables got their wish. They got a table spot. We saw Nakamura drop kick Cody Rhodes off the apron, and he crashed through a table which was set up on the outside. It had the Slim Jims. I'm sure that'll make some people upset. Match was good. It was entertaining. It was just obvious who was going to win. Priest was thrown out to the outside. Cody hit the crossroads onto Andrade, and then Nakamura went for a sleeper hold on Cody, but Cody reversed that into a crossroads, and he pins Nakamura. Makes sense. The least guy in this match, worth nothing, to be honest. Cody wins, and he heads to King of the Ring. He advances to the semifinals. Maybe he faces Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia. I think that would make sense, and Cody might just win the whole tournament, or maybe Sami wins, I don't know, but I think Cody definitely will get a title shot against John Cena soon. I don't know if it'll be SummerSlam, but makes sense for Cody to advance, and that was how SmackDown ended. Definitely felt like a throwaway show, a paint-by-the-numbers show just, with a bunch of matches thrown on. They know they're going to get a tough rating because of the NBA Finals, and I feel like they tried as hard, but that was SmackDown, and hope everyone is enjoying their Friday the 13th.